Hello, my friends, and welcome back to my channel. We're going to do a reading to see what you need to hear about love. I felt called to use this deck, which I haven't felt called to use in a while, Voice of the Soul's Oracle. So let's see what you need to hear. Right away on the bottom, we have Message of Love, 34. So the number 34 could be symbolic, or March 4th, April 3rd could be symbolic. With these black cards in this deck, we have loss. Oh, that's interesting. I was just about to say that. So with the black cards in this deck, this is meant for you. This is an intuitive message for you. So however this is intuitively sitting with you, whatever you intuitively feel from this, who this message of love is from. And we do have loss. So one of the things I was hearing is it could be from someone who's passed away in your life, or, even like I'm hearing a pet, or a relative who's passed away. This could be a message from them, or it could be a message from someone that you loved but lost. And what I mean by that is they're still here, like they're still in this world, but you're no longer with them. So I want you to take a moment, or you could screenshot this just to think about what this message means for you. Because like I said, the black cards in this deck are meant to be messages that you intuitively read yourself. So however that's coming through, again, we do have loss right underneath. So you could also be a divine feminine, I'm hearing, because that is 18 moon energy. And we have the 3 and the 4 here, which is Empress and Emperor energy. But please take it how, again, that card says it's up to you to decipher what that message is about. But there's a message of love coming through right away. And this is a love reading. This is a love reading. I'm just wiping the dust off of that. We have regrets. So it could be that someone has regrets right now about you, or is feeling the energy of regret. So let's see what you need to hear today. What do we need to talk about? We have love, 3. And it's in the reverse. So it feels like this could be someone you're in separation with. Interesting. 3, Empress energy. Could be someone you're in separation with. And we have message of warning. So again, take that as it resonates. Message of warning. Interesting. What am I feeling with that? It could have been that, you were separated from this person for a reason, or maybe, there were red flags you were seeing there. And someone has regret now. So let's see what this is about. We have you. So it could be that you're really focused on self-love right now. You're focused on you. What is on my table that's wet? My water. I was drinking water before this reading. There we go. So we have you here. So that message of love could also be from your higher self. I want to read what this is about, this message of you. It feels like you're meant to be focusing on you right now. Or it could be, I don't know what this reading is about, but with that message of warning, it could be something about your mindset. I'm hearing, what you put out is what you call in. So there could be a warning here about what kind of mindset you're having about this, especially with that love in reverse and the loss. You could have a very, again, I don't know what this reading is about yet, but I'm hearing something about whatever you're putting out is what you're calling in. So if you're putting out negative energy, if you're putting out negative mindsets, there could be a message of warning about that. $32 could be important, that number for you. You think you don't know. You think you don't see. You think you are not. You think you cannot. That is not so. So, again, there's a message of warning about your mindset right now. And that may be hard for some of you to hear. You're an extraordinary being because you're a spiritual soul in a corporeal experience. You have inner beauty and wisdom. Reconnect to yourself. Take a moment to look at yourself in the mirror and love what you see. Your mistakes, your success, your wrong paths, and your choices. Love your imperfection. So there's definitely that message of love could have been from your higher self, because it feels like there's something about the way you're looking at yourself right now. There's something about the energy that you're putting out. There's a warning there that the energy that you're putting out is what you're calling in. So it's very important to, be kind to yourself and to show compassion and be kind to others, no matter what they did to you. And I know, again, that may be triggering for some people to hear. I heard something, I talk about forgiveness a lot. And what was I watching last night? I was watching some show, and this, not that the show is important, but I was watching this show, and there was a character whose wife had been hit by a drunk driver, and she had died, and the drunk driver was being released from prison. And the mother, like the man who was married to the woman who died, he was sitting with her mother, and they were talking about how this person who killed her daughter, his wife, was being released from prison. And he was very mad. He was very mad. And she was talking about how she has forgiven this woman, and how she has compassion for this woman, even though this woman got drunk and got behind the wheel of a car and, created a loss in both of their lives. She had forgiven this woman. And he said, I cannot forgive. I will never forgive. I'm still angry. And the mother was telling him, you're only hurting yourself by holding on to that resentment. So there could be, again, the message of warning could be something about your mindset or the way you are projecting outwards is what I'm hearing. And again, I know that's triggering for some people to hear. But you could be sending a lot of negative energy towards this person. Like, clearly this is about love, someone that you're separated from. I was seeing that love card in reverse, kind of like the Three of Swords. And there's another important message here about loving yourself. And the fact that that love card was in reverse. I don't know if I showed you closely enough, but there were thorns around that heart. So if you are someone who is lacking self-love, it could be that, in a way you are blocking love from coming in. Anyway, let's keep reading this. Reconnect to yourself. Take a moment to look at yourself in the mirror and love what you see. Your mistakes, your successes, your wrong paths, and your choices. Love your imperfection. You are perfect just the way you are. Look at yourself and love yourself. Your spirit guides want you to know everything is inside of you. You think you need us, but this is not so. You have all the messages and inner strength you need. You are capable of everything, of moving forward how you would like. Don't look for answers or support outside of yourself. Don't think we know better than you. We invite you to take a moment, listen to yourself, and have confidence in yourself. You can move forward however you like. You can create what matters to you. Everything is right. Don't let yourself be slowed down by others' frames of reference or to be negatively influenced by outer things. Have confidence in yourself and be daring. It's all there inside of you, and it's beautiful and wonderful. So you could be letting the loss of someone in your life, or, how someone treated you, you could be internalizing that, which we're humans, that's what we do, but you could be internalizing that and thinking there's something wrong with you, and there's not. Someone else's opinion of you is not a reflection of who you really are. But again, I was also hearing something, there's a warning sign about the energy that you're putting out there could be blocking things from coming in. The entity, you think you're talking to me, but it's not me. You're communicating with your soul. But today you need to communicate with me. You expect too much from what is outside of yourself. You lack faith in yourself. I don't communicate with you to punish you. It's just that for now you don't need it. So I remain silent and I let you communicate with yourself. You need to find yourself again. You need to know yourself again. You have evolved a lot recently, but you don't realize it. You look outside, you look for outside support and something to lean on. Yet you have many answers inside of yourself. Listen to yourself, understand the messages you hear like an inner conversation. You're talking with a wonderful and splendid person, yourself. This is what you need. When the time comes, we'll be able to talk together. And I just got chills the whole time I was reading that. It sounds like it's your person talking to you. I'm going to be honest. Like the whole time I was reading that, the entities. So that could be, this is someone's message to you. And this is a love reading. It says, I don't communicate with you to punish you. It's just that for now you don't need it. So I remain silent and let you communicate with yourself. You need to find yourself again. You need to know yourself again. And this, when the time comes, we'll be able to talk together. I don't know. This is feeling very much to me like duality. So it definitely feels like this is about someone you're in separation with, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. And again, you could have a very negative mindset towards this person. You could be speaking negatively of this person right now. And again, just remember, whatever you're putting out, that's what you're calling in. There could be mirroring here as well. So one thing you have to realize, especially if you are on the counterpart journey, is that whatever negativity you are putting out, so is your person. So if you are thinking negatively about your person and putting that negative energy out there, so are they. And I'm not saying this to make you feel bad. It's a lesson that I had to learn. Again, I'm not saying it to trigger you or to make you feel bad. But there's something about really focusing on yourself right now. So it's almost like you need to take your attention off of blaming this person and being resentful towards this person for not being in your life right now or for whatever happened. And this is a time for you to really focus on you and know your worth and work on your shadows and your ego and all of that. For some of you, maybe there's substances here, because I just heard my words slur a little. And whenever my words slur, it makes me think of, back in the day when I struggled with drinking. I'm a recovering alcoholic. Whenever my words slur, my guides mention like addictions could be a thing. You could be, negative thinking, negative mindset, talking badly about people, that can also be something that's addicting. We feel like it's soothing us in a way, but it's not really. And I'm guilty for it too. Like I have my moments. I try not to. I try not to put that negative energy out there, but like last night I was, having a time and I was talking to my spiritual friend and I was just like, you know what? I just need to rant for a minute. I need to vent and I just need to get all this off my chest. And I wasn't like, I'm not proud of myself for some of the negativity I was feeling, but I kind of had to feel it to work through it. So just keep that in mind. And I'm thinking about the people I see, like, on tarot videos that are just like, they're taking the time to leave these comments about how much resent they have to, like how resentful they are to their person and how it's all their fault. And again, especially if you're a counterpart, if you are putting that negative energy out there, mirroring this person, is probably doing the same thing. All right, so let's just see what Spirit wants you to know about this, because this is about what you need to hear. So if this isn't resonating with you, then it's just not your reading, okay? So let's see what you need to hear about this. What do you need to hear today? We have, it's not me. Oh my gosh, the mirror. What was I saying? It's not me. And 8, that's your ego. And I feel like this is going to be a triggering reading for some people to hear. But it's like, again, there's this message that's exactly what I was hearing. You're saying it's not me. It's not my fault. It's their fault. And Spirit's saying there's a message of warning here that you need to look in the mirror. And I'm not saying that you need to look in the mirror because there's bad things about you. That's not it. But this person, whoever you're connected to, could have just been triggering some wounds within you that you need to look deep within yourself at what those wounds are, where they come from, where they stem from. They stem from childhood or past relationships. Yeah, there's definitely this energy with 8. It's like 8 is like Leo energy, and it's the energy of, it can be the energy of our confidence, but it can also be the energy of our ego being triggered. And that's what I'm feeling. Like there's this energy of, it's not, especially if you're on the counterpart journey or you feel like you're you're a divine counterpart, it's not just them. It's not all their fault. Anyway, there could be some projection here. I feel like I'm like forgiveness. See, yes, that's exactly what that's why that came to my mind. And that's divine masculine energy 19. So it feels like there's this energy where you need to forgive. And again, forgiveness isn't about, it doesn't, again, your ego, sometimes when people talk about forgiveness, it triggers people's ego and they say, well, why should I forgive? They're the ones in the wrong. They hurt me. But forgiveness is not about the other person, it's about you. And I saw someone explain it perfectly once. They said, forgiveness is about you. And when you don't forgive people, it's like you're picking up a weight and you're just carrying it around with you. And then there's someone else you can't forgive. So you pick up another weight and it weighs you down. And trust me, I know that it can be hard to forgive. But again, forgiveness is not about the other person. It's not about saying that what they did was okay and that it's okay that you were wronged. But there's something here about, again, I'm repeating myself, but there's a warning sign there's a warning here about you having this mindset. It's not me, it's them. And especially if you're on this divine counterpart journey, it is about you. It is about you. And this person is just triggering those things you need to reflect on. Just like you trigger in them what they need to reflect on. I think that's really interesting that we have a mirror. And again, if you are sending out that energy, you get back what you send out. And especially if you're mirroring with this person, if you're over here, it's not me, it's all their fault. I don't forgive them. Then what do you think they're experiencing? They're experiencing the same thing. They're saying, well, it's not me, it's them. This feels like it's very counterparty. But anyway, I'm just curious as to what this card says, because this is also a deck where you're meant to, like, I'm reading it intuitively, but I'm curious about what this is about. Yeah. Your soul. You aren't connected to me at the moment. So right now you're not connected to your soul. You're not connected to your higher truth. You're like, again, there's this energy of projecting outward. And please know that I'm saying this with like peace and love. I'm not saying this to judge you. I'm not saying this to trigger you. But this was like the last time I grabbed this deck, it was quite an important message. So I kind of knew that it was going to be an important message that someone needed to hear. But again, you need to stop looking at it as it's all about them and it's all their fault. There's a disconnect with your soul right now. And that's why we had that You card on the bottom and the message of warning. Spirit's telling you, you need to reconnect with your soul. You need to reconnect with your inner knowing. You need to reconnect with your, your divine light is what I'm hearing. Someone could have a black fur baby because there's a black hair on that. All right. And listen, this forgiveness card is making me think of that example I always give. When you're holding on to resentment like this, it's just hurting you. And again, I can't stress it enough. Forgiveness is not about saying what the other person did was okay or excusing bad behavior or letting them off the hook or any of that. Forgiveness is about you, because by not forgiving and holding on to resentment, it weighs you down. I'm seeing the 10 of Wands, like that person walking with all those wands on their back, those heavy burdens. And what I'm saying about this is when we're holding on to resentment, it blocks good things from coming to us. But when we forgive, like look at this image, when we forgive, we allow the energy to flow. And in one of these decks that I have, it actually talks about how when you're holding on to when you're holding on to resentment towards someone, and I'm thinking about that 3, that love that was in reverse. It looked so much like the 3 of Swords to me, the 3 of Swords. And when especially if you're in a soul contract, like a soul connection, if you were holding on to all this resentment and anger towards this person energetically can feel that. It's like there's a wall in between you. And I don't know how many times in my life through my healing journey, like when I started my healing journey, I was holding on to a lot of resentment towards many people, including my family. And when I started to forgive, and that actually started in therapy, but when I started to forgive, what I noticed, and again, it goes back to that card that I started talking about, when you forgive them, it's like it clears this energetic blockage. And then sometimes when you forgive them, without telling them that you're forgiving them, you just forgive them and you release that resentment, they come back in and apologize. Even though you didn't tell them, okay, I forgive you. You just did it energetically. It's like it allows a wall to come down that's also been blocking them, because energetically they can feel. I'm hearing like some people are going to feel like I'm victim shaming, and that's not what I'm doing here. But it's almost like energetically, and I've seen it happen in my own life. It's like energetically they can feel that resentment. They can feel that wall. And maybe, as you're holding on to resentment for them, they're holding on to like not wanting to take accountability and not wanting to apologize. And then when you forgive them and you release that energy without saying anything to them at all, it's almost like they open up and want to apologize. Does that always happen? No. Like there are people in my life that I've forgiven that have never apologized to me, and I've never heard from them again. But again, forgiveness is not about them, it's about you. And Spirit's saying there's a warning sign that you need to connect with your higher self, that you are acting like, I hate to say it, but it feels like whoever this reading is for, you're in your like ego energy. You're in your shadow right now. And you need to reconnect with yourself. This is also 29 equals 11. Which faith, humanitarian, accepting, tolerant, intuitive, weaknesses, codependent, manipulative, oversensitive. All right. So I'm just going to read this again. Your soul, a message from your soul. You're not connected to me at the moment. You may feel like a spectator of your own life. You feel you don't recognize yourself in your thoughts, actions, and reactions. A part of you isn't grounded or centered. You are not yourself. This is not negative because it is an experience that will let you learn something new. And that's what I mean. Like, I'm not trying to shame you. I'm not trying to put you down here. This is a lesson. It can bring unexpected events and blockages in your relationships with others. Everything I just said. Take a break. Take time to meditate and understand the source of this disconnection. What happened? What is the source? Discovering that will help you understand many things. This will help you come home to yourself again. There is no single way to come home to ourselves. It is up to you to come back to me. Taking a break is a starting point before we can unite once more. So whoever this reading is for, you're very disconnected from your higher self right now. Your higher self doesn't want you to be angry and resentful. Your higher self doesn't want you to be blaming others. That you card talked about blaming things outside of yourself. And I often talk about how before I heal, well, I'm still healing. Healing's an ongoing process. It takes years, right? It takes years to undo all that programming and all that trauma. But I used to be someone who was always like, it's not me, it's them. It's them, it's them, it's them, it's all their fault. And even right now, the energy that's coming through in this reading, the message that you need to hear, this message of warning, you're probably blaming me right now. And I don't fault you for that. But it's because you're disconnected from your higher self, your higher truth. You're disconnected from your intuition right now. And I've been there. And look, 3, Empress energy. Your spirit guides want you to know everything is happening and unfolding here and now. The time for waiting is over. We are sending you signs so you don't push things back to later. So it feels like Spirit's saying now is the time to reconnect with yourself. Now is the time to accept this separation. Now is the time to forgive this person and release them if that's, release that resentment. Again, I talk a lot about energy, and that type of energy can really put a wall in between you and, like, if this is your counterpart, put a wall in between you and your counterpart. Don't tell yourself your happiness will be there tomorrow. Don't tell yourself you'll act in the next few days. Don't tell yourself your well-being depends on outer circumstances. And this is reminding me of that book that I'm reading for my soul tribe. It's called The Inner Work. And it's about how people assume, or people they're programmed to believe that happiness exists outside of them, or it's something external. Like the example I'm hearing is like, you could be someone who wants to come into union with your person, and you are, you're thinking that if they would just come back, if they would just reach out, if they would just love me and accept me, then I will feel okay. And Spirit's saying, no, that doesn't come from outside of you. It has to come from within you. And it doesn't happen tomorrow. Like, happiness, you can't just snap your fingers and be happy or healed. It's a process. And there is this warning that you need to reconnect with your higher truth. You need to get out of that ego mind. You need to get out of those limited beliefs right now. And again, I already feel the fact that this card talks about that energy of it's not me, it's everybody else. I can already feel like I'm triggered, I'm triggering some people. When you ask us for counsel, you push things back to later. We have already sent you many signs, but now it's time for you to act. So take a deep breath and move forward. Take a deep breath and take the first step. Take a deep breath and act. And this is not about taking action towards this person. I feel like you're asking the universe, like, why is this happening to me? You're asking the universe to help you. You're asking the universe for more signs. And this card is saying, we've already sent you signs. My dogs are freaking out. We've already sent you signs. We've already sent you guidance. Right now, you need to act on forgiveness. You need to act on healing. You need to act on reconnecting with your higher self. Oh my goodness. You are in a strong energy. Have confidence in yourself and show determination. You can do it, and you can do it. The entity. You may be trying to contact me, and you feel you're receiving signs and messages, but it's not me. We aren't yet on the same wavelength, so we can't communicate. But this is not the end. We will be able to communicate soon. Like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This feels like a message from your person, from their higher self. It feels like your guides are trying to get through to you. It feels like, you feel like you're receiving signs and synchronicities about your person, right? The reader that I love so much talked about how sometimes when you're seeing signs and synchronicities about your person, and if you're connected to a divine masculine, you think that the signs are about them, but it's a sign. If you're seeing things that remind you of your divine masculine, and you're not like in your divine feminine or your divine masculine energy yourself, you're not in that balanced energy. Think back to the beginning of this reading. You, 34, Empress, Emperor. So it's like you need to be balancing your divine feminine, divine masculine energies right now. I'm almost tempted to talk to you about what distorted masculine and feminine energy looks like compared to divine feminine and masculine energy. I might not read the whole thing, but I might pull out that book just to give you an idea of where your energy could be distorted. But it's like the signs and synchronicities about your person that are being sent to you. They're about you embodying your divine masculine energy, is what I'm hearing, and about you knowing your worth and having the confidence. And again, there's some, let's just keep going. We can't communicate, but no, this is not the end. We will be able to communicate soon. Right now, I invite you to stop trying to contact me. You're connecting with other entities, which can create energy breaches. I will come towards you when we are both ready. In the meantime, don't try to control our communication and don't try and go too fast. I know this can be frustrating for you, but know that everything happens for a good reason. Everything is right. Today, take time to live and accept our physical separation. Take time to connect to your new environment. And I don't know why, but I feel like crying right now. I don't know if what I'm saying is triggering you and it's making you cry. Anyway. So whatever lessons you're meant to be learning about, Spirit's saying it's not about blaming your person. It's about looking in the mirror and learning those lessons. And again, maybe that message of love in the very beginning was you needed that message of love before I started this reading, because these are some hard truths to hear. And again, I feel like some of you are already like triggered or blaming me. I don't know. I'm feeling called to... I just want to describe to you, what are you? We have abundance. Listen, I want to suggest to you to look into this book. And I'm not like one of those scammers in my comment section that are like, guys, this is the manifestation book you've always been waiting for. I hate those people. It's a bot, okay? It's somebody spamming all of our comment sections about books that they want to sell. And I know for a fact the person who made this book doesn't need to do that. But this is called The Inner Work, and I'm reading it to my soul tribe. An Invitation to True Freedom and Lasting Happiness, and it's by Matt and Ash. And again, I'm reading it to my soul tribe, and it's very enlightening. And it talks about some of this stuff, so you may want to look into it. But I just want to explain to you about distorted energy. So the distorted feminine release these negative patterns. The distorted feminine is characterized by negative emotions, depression, neediness, a sense of going around in circles, a need for pointless drama, feeling unattractive, or being trapped and powerless. In this mode, the feminine can be dishonest by means of manipulation, not really saying what she means, or being unclear about what she needs. This gives rise to unspoken or even unfair expectations. The distorted feminine may seek to catch out or trip up another in order to have something to be angry about. This need for attention, whatever the cost and expression of insecurity, can damage her health, her relationships, and even her career prospects. The feminine is tired. She feels unloved and unsupported by the masculine in her world. Maybe life feels like a struggle. While some of these things may be true, remaining in the distorted feminine energy is not the way to resolve them. The distorted feminine is lurking somewhere in your life and asking you to be acknowledged and healed. Being honest with yourself about what is really happening is the first huge step towards empowerment. Are you constantly becoming involved with the wrong kind of partner? Do you blame your person for the things that aren't working in your life? Do you second guess yourself or imagine that people think ill of you? Are you afraid to ask for what you really need, or are you waiting until someone figures it out and gives it to you? Are you dwelling on old feelings of hurt or disappointment? Your angels and spirit guides want you to know that now is the time to bring this energy to the surface. There goes my slurring again. Bless it for what it has taught you, then let it go. It's time to live in and for the present. So there's a huge message, like right now is the time for you to focus on yourself, reconnect with your soul, reconnect with your higher self, reconnect with your spirit guides, reconnect with your intuition, because everything else you're feeling feels like ego. It feels like distorted feminine energy and perhaps some distorted masculine. Distorted masculine energy, an unwillingness to trust, ignoring emotions and intuition, wanting proof of everything, insisting on a logical or rational approach. What else? The distorted masculine loves bureaucracy, power for the sake of it, and separateness rather than togetherness. He tends to work with a win-lose dynamic where there can only be one winner, one first prize. And I'm not saying that you're looking at it as there can only be one winner, but it's like this energy of it's all their fault. It's only them. They're the only ones that need to work on themselves. I'm fine. And again, I've been in this energy, and that's why I can talk to you about it. And I'm going to be honest. I had a moment where my favorite reader, I had a reading like this, and she triggered me because it's something I needed to hear. I understand this energy. I understand where it comes from. I said last night I was kind of in that energy myself, and I got it out and then I released it. Healing is like this. You can't just be perfect every day, all day, and perfectly healed. Distorted masculine energy. Do you live by your clock and your diary, pushing everything aside until your work is done? Do you ignore your intuition or the messages from your body urging you to rest and relax? Are you afraid to feel your emotions for fear of being overwhelmed or appearing weak? And distorted masculine energy, thinking about how much time things are taking. Time is an illusion. Time was created so that we could be controlled. Anyway. I know this is hard for some of you to hear, But I just have to read this part again because I feel like this is from your person's higher self. I just need to read it again. We aren't yet on the same wavelength. So if you're not on the same wavelength, if you're not on the same frequency, you can't come together. And whatever frequency you're on, counterparts, whatever frequency you're on is like if you're in this energy, you're putting that energy out, you're projecting it out. That's the energy your person is in, doing the same thing towards you. So if you want to raise the vibration here, it starts with you. Anyway, we aren't on the same wavelength, so we can't communicate, but this is not the end. We will be able to communicate this soon. Today, take time to live and accept our physical separation. And think about that love card that was in reverse, separation. So it's time to connect to yourself, connect to your environment. It's time to ground. It's time to work on that ego is what I'm hearing. And perfect timing. I got this deck last night, which it feels like velvet. Even my partner who's like not into tarot was like, "Oh my gosh, those cards." But it's called the Self-Forgiveness Oracle Deck Love Your Ego Edition. I also don't think it's a coincidence that my dogs are going crazy right now, because I feel like your ego is just like going nuts. Yesterday, the chapter that we read in this in my soul tribe reading talked all about ego. And I said to my soul tribe, and that's not a reading that's anywhere else. It's here on YouTube. It's just not a love reading. It's more about self-love, if anything. My soul tribe reading is more about yourself. So if you need to connect with yourself, maybe watch some of my soul tribe readings. But this talked about ego, and I said to my soul tribe, even though I wasn't triggered by it, even though I've been working on my ego for a while, the whole time I was reading about the ego, my ego was uncomfortable. My ego was squirming. I highly recommend this book. If look at the similarities in that. That's beautiful. Anyway, I'm gonna get you some of those cards because I just got them, and perfect timing. Perfect timing, I think. So let's see what else is here. What does this person need to hear, Spirit? What does this person need to hear? We have message of forgiveness. Like I can't make this up. Message of forgiveness. And 40, Emperor energy. There's something here about you forgiving your counterpart. And we have happiness, but do I want to take that? Let's take it. Let's take it. So message of forgiveness, like I said in the beginning, this is a message for you to interpret yourself. But clearly that's a theme. There's a warning here that you need to find forgiveness in your heart. I just know I'm triggering people right now. And again, it's like 40, right? Emperor energy. So maybe forgive yourself for your own distorted masculine energy. Maybe forgive your father. Maybe forgive your divine masculine, because the emperor can also be like a father figure. And we have happiness. So I feel like this is what's blocking this happiness, if I'm being honest. And this is number 6, lover's energy. And again, a lot of people believe, that book was talking about it, that if I just get the job I want, if I just pay off all my bills, if I just come into union with my person, if I just get married, then I'll be happy. Happiness is within you without any of that. Happiness is within you. You just need to tap into it. And again, this book, it says, an invitation to true freedom and lasting happiness. Again, I'm not pushing that book. I'm not like, I'm not an affiliate of that book or anything. But I feel like whoever I'm talking to needs a book like that. And the thing that I love about that book is it's not written by someone who has all these programmed beliefs and black and white thinking. It's written by someone. It's written by someone who has explored religion. They've explored spirituality. They include a lot of different aspects in this book. Where did it talk about? And again, if you don't like reading, I'm reading it to my soul tribe. And I've titled my soul tribe readings. It will say the inner work, and you can just listen to me read it. Where is the, I just want to look at the intro here. I'm feeling, Spirit called me right to this. There is a healthy time and place for every seemingly negative emotion, such as anger or blame. You can stay there as long as you'd like. Only pick up this book if you are truly ready to move on, as the words within these pages will cause more harm than good without your conscious agreement to hear its motivational messages. This is a non-denominational spiritual book, not a psychology or medical book, which pulls from a diverse plethora of religious and non-religious sources, including mystic Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, and many more. If you have experienced any religious trauma, know that this is a safe space for you to take what spiritual truth serves you and leave behind what doesn't. Your path is yours to forge. There are many rivers that lead to the same sea. And it talks about wounded themes of consciousness. And I'm going to show this to you. Maybe you want to screenshot it. This is where these negative emotions come from, is wounded themes of consciousness. So look, 3D reality, self as a body, suffering, victim abuser mentality, themes of wounding, insecurity, violation, inadequacy, distrust, loss, overwhelm, judgment, rejection. Themes of healing, 4D reality, self as mind, relief, self-empowered mentality. You need to transition into self-honesty before you get into these themes of healing. Understanding, acceptance, self-motivation, ease, accountability. And then transition into spiritual reality, themes of enlightenment, freedom and happiness, love and inner peace. And it's on page 18, Divine Feminine Energy. So anyway, if you don't want to buy it, if you don't want to read it, like I don't like reading. So I read it to my soul tribe because it's easier for me to read with a group of friends than to read it by myself. And we'd be happy to have you over there in our soul tribe. Lovely bunch of people over there. 6, happiness. It came out, so I'm going to take it. Happiness is within your reach. Your soul wants you to know. Happiness is within your reach. Even if your outer environment seems complicated, don't worry. Happiness is there. I already feel it. I send you so much love so that you can see it, then carry into your outer life. You have worked hard on yourself and are now aware of how to create this inner happiness. If this is not yet the case, know that you will soon share it with people you love. You're a wonderful person, and I'm proud of you because you have the daring to tell it to yourself. And this is kind of in future outcome, okay? Sometimes you say it timidly, but still you manage to express it before you didn't even feel you could. Keep building your own happiness. You are on a beneficial path. Your spirit guides want you to know everything is already happening. You are in a forward-moving energy, future energy, okay? You can't see synchronicities yet. Know that they'll be coming in quickly. We are sending you signs in the form of outer events. Let yourself be guided. Keep nourishing what is most beautiful in you. Don't try to control things. All you have to do is experience the present moment and be spontaneous. Soon your inner happiness will be carried into your outer life. You will create everything that matters to you. Your wants are in line with your needs, and you are connected to yourself. Everything is falling into place. Everything is beautiful. You can already embrace the fruit of your efforts and bring your projects to life. I am happy now, even if things weren't easy for me. I was happy then. I had I always had that childlike fire, letting me experience things intensely. Yet I may have been clumsy. I always found moments of happiness, even in hard times. I am guiding you towards happiness. I am sending you signs to help you create your own happiness and understand it's within your reach. Be proud of yourself. You already have everything within you. You have managed to do many things that I could not. Keep going on this path. Keep shining as you are right now. You do not need to contact me directly. When you are happy, we're aligned on the same frequency. I am with you. I am happy with you and for you. You are creating a wonderful path, and beautiful surprises are in store for you. Keep moving forward on these beautiful waters. While the waters I sailed were filled with hardship, for you they are peaceful. Enjoy it all for me. So again, that could be a message from your person. I just feel like by message of forgiveness, by forgiving things, people, yourself, your parents, your person, I feel like it will lead you to this happiness. And I'm putting this happiness in the future outcome. I want to get one more. I want to get one more card for right here. So what do you need to hear? What do you need to hear right there? What do you need to hear? What message do you need to hear? What message do you need to hear? We have burden of tears. And we have guide. And look, 15. So 15 is giving me that shadow energy. And your shadows are meant to guide you to your light. It's making me think of that Jaguar card. They're meant to guide you to your light. And we were taught to like chain up our shadows and to not look at them and to ignore them. But what our shadows really need are nourishment. They need to be seen. They need to be recognized. They need to be embraced. Let me just see if this is straight. Again, you could be dealing with a counterpart because I just saw a very strong message about I saw a very strong synchronicity 1 minute ago about my own counterpart. So this could be about your counterpart. 21. Nope. There we go. Burden of tears. There is a great sadness in you, an emotional pain. This is a message from your soul. I feel it deep inside of you and I understand it. Part of you feels this pain, feels like this pain makes you weak and vulnerable, so you repress it into your deepest depths. What was I just talking about chaining that Jaguar up? But this sadness is legitimate and it has something positive to teach you. The pain is a sign you're mourning a relationship, situation, a way of being and thinking. There is still some resistance, yes, which is why part of you is afraid to connect to this emotional suffering. If you feel unable to handle it, don't force yourself, but don't repress it. If you need to cry, scream, or talk, just do it. You can write it down or communicate it with a person you really trust. I really invite you to do so. It will bring you true liberation and let you open a new chapter in your life. Again, I keep hearing like you should read that inner workbook. 6 months ago, something important happened. Something heavily disrupted your energy and emotions. Part of your energy froze. Part of you had a bad scare. Fear isn't a negative emotion. Fear comes when you feel danger. It's a role to advise you. Fear freezes you. When its role is to warn you, fear allows you to understand what is going on. Today, we invite you to understand what frightened you and what made you sad using the method of your choice. Understand what that fear means to teach you. We've been sending you signs over the past few days to help you connect with another person. That person will help you directly or indirectly to reconnect to yourself. That could be me, because this reading is all about you reconnecting to yourself. The entity. Part of you is sad and wants, so far, every time I've read the entity, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Every time I've read the entity part, it sounds to me like it's your counterpart's higher self directly talking to you. And I just looked down, and this is on page 69, which is such a counterpart number. It does represent yin and yang. And a lover's connection, lovers, that's meant lovers, a very strong, almost unbreakable bond, 8, the infinity. 69, a lover's connection that is meant to teach you how to love yourself through separation, and to do a lot of soul searching, hermit energy, soul searching, self-reflection, and finding your soul's path. So again, just as I was saying that, I noticed 69 right here. Part of you is sad and wants to cry and scream. This isn't necessarily directed to my passing. It is a situation that you can't fully accept and overcome. And they say passing, we're talking about a loss. So maybe this has to, like, maybe the loss is someone that passed away. Maybe for some of you, your counterpart did pass away, but because I've seen a couple people in my comment section say that their counterpart passed away. But that energy of passing, it's like you're still mourning the loss of this person in your life. And I'm not talking about like a literal passing. I'm talking about like an ending between the two of you. It's a situation that you can't fully accept or overcome. I understand this completely. I would like to help you more, but it's up to you to build your own path. Don't worry about your tears causing me harm. Don't worry about you having a negative influence on my soul. I am here for you and to console you. I send you comfort and compassion. I would like to take you in my arms, but I know I can't. So to feel my presence, take time to curl up and give yourself some kindness. Take care of yourself. That is when we'll be in the same energy and can communicate in a gentle and unique way. And when I was hearing that, when I was reading that, and I was reading the line about, I send you comfort and compassion, I could hear somebody, my person doesn't have compassion for me, my person doesn't do this, my person doesn't do that. And that's what Spirit's talking about right here. Again, I feel like this could be a very triggering reading for some people. So I just want to see what Spirit wants you to know about this. With this deck, we have conflict, 5 of Wands. So there is a lot of conflict. There's a lot of blockages here right now. We have the 4 of Matches, 4 of Wands, like 11-11. So there's a lot of blockages stopping this union from happening right now, is what I'm hearing. I didn't set out for this to be a twin flame reading, but Spirit takes the lead on those. We have the 9 of Matches, 9 of Wands, resilience. And it talks about, in the reverse, fatigue, paranoia, struggle. 9 of Wands, a love that's not easy. 9 of Wands, you know, it's an energy of the burdens and the baggage that we need to work on. It's an energy of self-improvement. What are you? We have the Fool in reverse. It's not in reverse in the deck, but I picked it up in the reverse. So what's the Fool? You could have had a false start with this person because, like so many counterparts, like you're not meant to come into union when you first meet. That's interesting. Not considering the potential consequences of your actions. The Fool can be seen as the Fool in reverse can be seen as a warning to take a step back and approach things with more thoughtfulness and maturity. Again, this is going to be a hard message for some people. And we have the 2 of Cups, partnership, connection, unity. In the reverse, distrust, imbalance, tension. I'm just going to shuffle one more time. I just got this deck. We have the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Cups, empathy, calm, comfort. In reverse, insecurity, moodiness. I'm going to take both meanings of the cards during this reading, just to let you know. I feel like I'm going to take like the positive energies, or the upright is what you need to work on, or depending on what card it is, what you need to embody. And then the more negative shadow attributes, what you need to let go of. Okay. So we have the Seven of Cups, possibilities, wishful thinking, dreamer. The reverse, delusions, confusion, choices, fantasy. So you could be very confused right now. With the Seven of Cups, you could be wondering if you're delusional, and that's not your fault. That's, you know, that's how people view spiritual people. Like, they tell us we're delusional. They tell us that we're crazy. When I think they're the crazy ones, but anyway. So let's see. It's like your intuition is clouded. The Seven of Cups energy, it's like your intuition is clouded right now, is what I'm hearing. So let's see what we need to hear about this. I don't even know where to begin. What do we need to hear about this? What do we need to hear about this, please, Spirit? We have the Two of Matches, the Five of Needles, the Two of Needles, whoa. The Nine of Matches, so the Nine of Wands. So right now there is, you know, the Nine of Wands. It says fatigue, so you could be having a hard time like staying resilient. You could be feeling quite defensive. You could be feeling quite burdened right now. And again, the Nine of Wands talks about self-improvement. So it feels like right now you're meant to be focusing on your own self-improvement. We also have the Two of Matches, progression, planning, discovery. In the reverse, hesitation, holding back, indecision. And I just feel like both of you, whoever you're connected to and you, are kind of in these energies where, you know, Two of Wands is about leaving your comfort zone. Two of Wands is about looking at your patterns and looking at the things that have prevented you from moving forward in your life, like everything we talked about up there. On the bottom, we have the Five of Swords, which is self-sabotage. I'm just going to read some of these cards to you so that you understand what's happening here. Nine of Wands. The asker may be feeling worn down by life's tribulations, or as if they cannot catch a break. Love requiring hard work, love that isn't easy, love leading to self-improvement. Exhaustion from work, project nearly feeling complete, feeling drained. The Nine of Wands reminds us to courageously stand firm in who we are, protect our boundaries and what we have built. It's a time to stay true to oneself and practice the word no. So it just feels like right now you're really meant to be working on your self-improvement. You're meant to be working on your boundaries. You're meant to be persisting through this feeling of fatigue is what I'm hearing. And the Two of Wands. Leaving comfort, taking risks. Anyway, what I was saying, sorry, I was just looking at the reversal. Actually, let's look at the Nine of Wands in reverse, Spirit is telling me. Nine of Wands in reverse. Stubbornness, rigidity, defensiveness, refusing compromise, giving up. The Nine of Wands reversed signifies that the asker may be confining themselves with limiting beliefs or victim stories. The asker has been feeling that life is against them and perceives they have been dealt a bad hand, and Spirit's telling me to just turn that around. And that's just, there's a sign here that you need to focus on yourself and what you can improve, like self-improvement. You know, relationship failing despite putting in work, like you tried, right? The Nine of Wands in reverse is also a sign that we are closer to we are closer than we think to a positive outcome, and you have happiness, positive outcome. Perhaps you feel like you're in the middle of the woods and cannot see the finish line. Again, I'm seeing a lot of shadow in this reading. Overanalyzing, not taking action, playing it safe, avoiding risk. Begin the process of identifying what is important to you and start setting up your goals accordingly. Failed romantic plans. Again, Spirit's telling me to flip it around. So on the bottom, we have the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is about like self-sabotaging behaviors. It's about conflict. And this says disagreement, surrender, self-serving. So right now you're meant to be surrendering this and really look at yourself within this separation. And in doing so, you can turn that energy around, reconciliation, compromise. So it just feels like there's a lot of like limited beliefs, self-sabotaging happening here. This doesn't feel like my normal collectives, if I'm being honest. The Five of Swords can represent conflict, a feeling of loss, or procrastination. You will need to suppress your pride, strength, and accept some restrictions. Only then will you be able to continue with your plans. So just accept this separation. Stop trying to fight it, right? Stop trying to swim upstream down the whitewater rapids and just, you know, go with the flow is what I'm hearing. Aggressive actions will not help you achieve your desired results. Perhaps you listen to the opinions of too many people, of other people, of people who are not awakened. Instead of drawing your own conclusions, you need to be wise enough to accept all that you cannot change right now. So it does feel like there's a form of self-sabotage happening right now. And again, work on your self-improvement, reconnect with yourself. I want to see what your person is doing. Let's see what your person is up to. What is your person up to? We have Five of Matches. So conflict. They could be going through a lot of conflict in their life right now. They could be going through a lot of inner conflict. You know? Just like I think you're going through a lot of inner conflict. Just remember, if you're over here blaming them, mirroring, they're probably over here blaming you. We have the Hanged Man, getting a new perspective, letting go, pause, sacrifice. So right now your person, Hanged Man energy, clearly they're like closed off right now, right? But remember the reversal of this, we can all turn these energies around. Well, their energy might be in the reverse right now, procrastination, stalling, indecision. And that could be working you up, like that could be triggering you, right? Again, in those messages from the entity, I kept hearing your person about how we can't be together right now. We can't communicate right now, but we will in the future. We have the Three of Buttons. Collaboration, teamwork, expertise. In the reverse, apathy, uncommitted, dissension. Again, I'm almost feeling called to do this. So it feels like it's very blocked right now. They could have had a fear of commitment here. We have the Six of Matches, which again, I just want to flip it around. Arrogance, pride, disgrace. The Six of Wands, like this person's ego could be triggered just like your ego is triggered. When you're like, again, wounded themes of consciousness, when you're blaming somebody else, that's your ego. And I feel like your person's ego is triggered right now too. I want to see what you can do to turn this energy around. What can you do to turn this energy around? What can my beautiful viewer here do? Other than the messages already given, what can you do to turn this energy around? What can you do to turn this energy around? What can you do to turn this energy around? That took a while to come out. So we have the universe, which is the world, which is beautiful. And it says infinite growth, evolution, possibilities. Release, your regrets. Release the stagnation. Start looking at your cycles. Start looking at your patterns, the world. Start completing some of those things is what I'm hearing. And we have the messenger, spirit guides. Know you're protected. Look, protection. Trust that you're being protected by your spirit guides. Trust that this connection is protected. It doesn't matter if you're in separation. It doesn't matter again, I'm not trying to invalidate your experience, but trust that this and you are protected. Trust in your spirit guides. Ask your spirit guides for help if you need help. Look for the divine sides. Don't ignore the signs the universe is sending you. Don't disregard this spiritual journey just because your person isn't doing exactly what you want them to do, or there's shadow here, or there's a separation here. Don't disregard this spiritual journey and your spirit guides just because, it's not playing out how you wanted it to play out. Be open to the messages your guides are sending you, because this talks about, like in the reverse, ignoring the signs and not being receptive of the signs and disregarding the signs. Those signs are there for a reason. Start looking up what the signs mean. If you see a butterfly is a horrible example, but if you see, I don't think you're going to see a pig randomly. Why is a pig coming to my mind? But if you see like a starling, look up what a starling means. What are your guides trying to tell you by sending you a starling? If you see a beetle, what does a beetle mean? What are your guides trying to tell you? If you see a number synchronicity that kind of screams out to you, look up what that angel number means. Look up what that twin flame number means. Trust your guides right now. Trust in your spiritual evolution. Trust in yourself. Trust in your higher self. It's interesting. The past 2 days I've picked up on, listen, I just saw what did I see? I can't even, my counter's upside down, so I can't even say what I saw. I just saw 1133. So look that up. Twin flames, 1133, or angel number 1133. What does it mean? Let's get another one for what you can do here, other than the universe. Judgment, awakening, epiphany, calling. So what is your calling? What is your soul purpose? Judgment, self-reflection, self-evaluation. Instead of it's them, it's them, it's them, go into self-evaluation. Judgment. Let's read judgment for you. Actually, Spirit's telling me to take judgment for you. Judgment. I just keep hearing like change your mindset. Get rid of those self-limiting beliefs. Stop listening to your ego. Stop listening to the reader I love talks about how divine beings are you know, this kind of journey, 5% of the population. Then 85% of the population heavily programmed. 10% of the population world leaders who teach that programming. So stop listening to the 85%. I'm hearing her in my head. And again, I had a reading like a couple years ago, I watched a reading just like this from her that triggered me because I was in this like very egoic energy where I was just blaming everybody else, and I was, believing the 85%. And if you are a divine being of that 5%, what is your calling? Because you do have your soul's calling you to do something. So what can you work on? Self-evaluation, awakening, renewal, purpose, reflection, reckoning. You now have a clear idea of what you need to change and how you need to be true to yourself and your needs. This can mean making small changes to your daily life. Finding career purpose. All right, what else can you work on here? What else can you work on? What else can you work on? We have the star. Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. And we have the Queen of Wands. Beautiful. Courage. Take charge. Fierce energy. Confidence. Independence. Like creating something. Strengthening your connection to spirit. The Queen of Wands is so connected to spirit. So there is a message of reconnecting to your confidence. Go through your glow up. When you start healing those shadows, you start glowing from the inside out. And again, there could be something you're being called to create because the Queen of Wands, very creative. And we have the star, hope, faith, renewal. Let go of the disappointment, let go of the despair, let go of that energy of feeling uninspired. And take charge. Take charge of your own energy. Take charge of your own healing. And, have faith. My favorite reader, I love her so much. She always says, on this journey, you have to have blind faith. You have to have blind faith. And you have to believe in yourself. There's a lot about healing here, so I feel like you have a lot of healing to do. I'm really curious how, I want to see if you do all this, how it will affect your person's energy. Ripple effect. It'll have a ripple effect on them. I can already hear it. So let's see if you do all this, if you follow Spirit's advice, if you focus on yourself, you forgive, you release that blame, you release that judgment, you turn your focus and your finger inward at yourself. You answer your calling. Like, look at this. Can you see this? How this little caterpillar turns into this butterfly. And again, I've been exactly where you are. I understand. I understand. And again, I was triggered when I heard this message. So if you're feeling triggered, it might be because it's something you needed to hear. And sometimes the things we need to hear can feel very uncomfortable because it's meant to help us grow, and growth is uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. It's much easier to stay in that 85% that she always talks about. It's much easier to stay in that 85% living in like complete darkness and in your programming. Again, you should really like check out that book or my Soul Tribe reading where I read that book. Because again, those Soul Tribe readings are more about you. They're not about, like, my Soul Tribe readings are not about love at all. It's about what do you need to hear for your soul? What do you need to know about yourself? What do you need to work on? And then we read that book. Anyway, last year I read a book to them, When You're Ready, This Is How You Heal. And although I didn't agree with everything in that book, I did agree with a lot of it. So let's see how your person's energy will shift if you do what Spirit's telling you to do here. Step into your power. How will your person's energy shift? We have, yes, we have the Three of Wands. Forward movement, progression, progress, expansion. In reverse, obstacles, frustration. They're going to be able to see clearly. Look at that little eye chart there. They're going to be able to see clearly. They're going to go through expansion. They're going to progress forward. They're going to create a lasting foundation for themselves. There's a dragonfly there and you have a butterfly. And I always talk about that, about how I see, like, for some reason for me, I always connect, like, whenever I see a butterfly and a dragonfly, it makes me think of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. You go through very similar transformations, but you're different, right? Anyway, so it will cause forward movement here. It will cause them to create more of a stable foundation, to be able to envision a future, forward movement. We have, this is beautiful. Like, just look at this. This is exactly why you needed to hear this message. We have the Eight of Wands, acceleration, rapid change, rapid growth, rapid progress. Very powerful reading. Hard to hear. Very hard to hear. My past self, just even me doing this reading, my past self is like triggered. And we have the Sun. Authenticity, optimism, happiness, divine masculine energy. I mean, Spirit can't get much clearer than that. Spirit can't get much clearer than that. So I'm going to get some of these ego cards for you. And then I'm going to get the surrender cards because I think that's going to be important too. I'm almost wondering, let me just look. I just want to see if it's not here, then it's not here. I just wanted to see. No, there's nothing in here about what I was thinking, but that's okay. I'm not even going to mention it. So yes, we'll get surrender cards, and then first we'll get the Self-Forgiveness Oracle, Love Your Ego edition. So I'm just going to give them a shuffle for you. I'm going to read that. Thank you, Spirit. I forgive myself for feeling as though I may somehow mess everything up should I choose to trust myself. So maybe you feel like if you do trust your intuition and you believe in this, that you're going to mess up somehow, or that you're going to miss out on something, or that you're going to regret it, or that it's all going to be for nothing. I choose to believe that every time I allow myself to gently follow my instinct, I strengthen my intuitive muscle and set myself up for future success. And these could also be things your person needs, like this could be wounds, that could be wounds your person has as well. So what do these two lovely beings need to hear? That one came out so quick. Look at what's on the bottom. I forgive myself for feeling as though I may somehow mess up everything should I choose to trust myself. You were meant to see that card. I forgive myself for attaching meaning to the experience of aloneness. I choose to believe that it is through accepting solitude and connecting with myself and my own silence that I am able to meet and integrate aspects of my being that I have been long resistant to. Like, fuck. Like, I just... Because that's what Spirit's telling you to do, to connect with yourself and integrate aspects of your being that you've been resistant to. Judgment. I forgive myself for considering options which oppose mine as a threat to my self-expression. I choose to believe that I may show loyalty to myself despite the existence of opposing ideas, as only I can fully appreciate the experiences that truly nourish me. The rebel. Both of these are the rebel. The victim. I forgive myself for feeling as though my safety is dependent on another's decision to show up as I think they would. The victim. And again, that's what I was hearing with that. It's not me. I choose to believe that when I stop waiting for others to give me what I need and claim that responsibility, I discover a strength always available to me. And I'm not going to lie, this felt like your person. I forgive myself for avoiding the experience. Well, this could be you too with the counterpart journey. I forgive myself for avoiding the experience of that which is new and unknown. This is the abstinent. I choose to believe that when I accept life's invitation to try something I have not yet experienced, I discover an even deeper connection with the miraculous complexity of my being. I'm going to get a few more. Let's just get a few more. I'm going to take the bottom one. All right. The hero. I forgive myself for thinking that it means anything about me at all should one of my loved ones experience challenge. I deserve to believe that it is safe to trust those I care for to grow resilient through the experience of difficulty so that they may realize their strengths. I forgive the abstinent. I forgive myself for avoiding people and situations that make me feel uncomfortable. I choose to believe that each time I give myself permission to change my mind and commit to a new way of showing up in the world, I allow myself to be moved to where the possibility of deeper comfort exists. I forgive myself for giving my power away by valuing the opinions of others over my own. The conformist. Anyway. I choose to believe that when I trust myself to clarify and stand by my own truth, I allow for the creation of a world I actually want to live in. One more, I'll just get the top one. I forgive the victim again. I forgive myself for neglecting my internal world and instead living by reacting to what has been placed before me. It's not me. I choose to believe that when I take time to fully appreciate and accept my fears, I begin to operate from a version of myself not ruled by those fears. All right, so let's get you some surrender cards. What do you need to surrender? Oh my gosh, the very first card. The very first card. Resentment. Huge confirmation there. Huge, huge confirmation. Holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward towards positive situations in your life. Let them go. Let that umbrella go. It blocks the light from coming in. It's not even raining. It's what I just heard. Let that umbrella go. You're blocking the sunshine. Anyway, let's see what you need to hear. What do you need to surrender, or what does your person need to surrender? Surrender negative thinking. Again, this was a huge, like that warning card, message of warning. Surrender to what is. So, Surrender to negative thinking. You have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say thank you for sharing and quickly refocus on positive affirmations. Surrender to what is. Flow with what is instead of fighting it. And I saw like someone swimming up a whitewater rapids. Like just let go and let those whitewater rapids carry you. In fact, it's making me think of that. I think her name is Kat from Sacred Soul. I don't know. She's on TikTok. She has a British accent. She talks a lot about divine counterparts. And the way she described it was, you, the divine feminine, are in a raft going down the whitewater rapids. And you, connected to you, is like a rope with your person also in a raft going down the whitewater rapids. The only thing is that as the divine feminine, you're awake. The divine feminine leads the way. So your eyes are open. You can see everything that's happening. And the person connected to you, the divine masculine, again, not talking about gender, their eyes are shut. They have no idea what the heck is going on. And by trying to fight the current, you're just going to exhaust yourself. There's something about just allowing it to flow. Because again, the person you're connected to, their eyes are closed. Your eyes are open. You're meant to lead the way. Flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. Surrender the drama. No matter how emotionally charged the situation, remain calm and don't contribute to the drama. Staying centered will help resolve the issue more quickly. Surrender to non-action. Now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. Let others come to you. Surrender comparisons with other people. It's just such a waste of energy. I always say it. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is a past version of yourself. Like in this reading, I compared myself a little to that past version of myself that used to be like, I understand this energy. It's a waste of your energy to compare yourself to anybody but a past version of yourself, because we're all different humans. Like even your person, you can't compare yourself to your person because we're all on different journeys. We all have different life experiences. We all move at different paces. We all have different mindsets. We all have different wounds to heal. Keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your own strengths, attractiveness, and power. Queen of Wands, right? Queen of Wands. So I know that was probably triggering for some of you to hear. Do I want to get a twin flame card? Maybe I do. Maybe I do. I haven't gotten this deck in a little while. Let's just get you one. Let's just get you one. We have divine order, practice patience. So there is like an order to things. You can't just, this isn't a muggle connection, okay? This isn't your everyday muggle connection, is what I'm hearing. Let's cut the deck. On the bottom, we have honor your agreement, mission in motion. All right, so what does this beautiful divine feminine need to hear? What does this beautiful divine feminine need to hear? Beyond illusion, change your perception. Bang, mic drop. Beyond illusion. What color is that? Is that slate? Yes. Powerful life lessons that will expedite your ascension process, whatever. You know what? This one, just as I was moving the deck, that one came off, so I'm going to take it. That's the very first card in this deck. Powerful life lessons to expedite the ascension process, 26. Whew. Taking responsibility for your actions gives you the momentum to create your own reality. When you come to terms with what no longer works in your life and you realize that your current status is an accumulation of previous choices, You will recognize how inner feelings impact your life. The first step towards owning your truth is to acknowledge that you carry the power within you to make positive life decisions that align with your heart's desires. This card implies to you that you are the key holder of your destiny, and no one except you can unlock your hidden potential. If you are unhappy with yourself, your life, your relationships, or even your career, only you can take necessary actions that will shift your situation, making you the alchemist of your reality. You are being called to rise above limitations that have caused you to focus on what is outside of yourself. Holy cow, these cards are like, whew, like totally resonating to the energy of this reading. You are being called to rise above limitations that have caused you to focus on what is outside of yourself, which creates separation between you and all that is. Making this conscious connection with your inner soul flame will set your soul on fire and light your path, resulting in a brighter future. You can see these cards, like you can see the message here. It's like, anyway, it's, you know, a little bit magical in my opinion. This is on page 33, my favorite number. Change your perception. Move beyond your limitations and view your journey through the lens of your heart, not your ego. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs send signals into the universe in relation to the frequency of your emotional state. And that's exactly what I said. What you put out, you're calling back in. Through changing your perception, you can bypass challenging situations. This accelerates your ascension because everything starts to match your higher frequency. Shifting your focus beyond the illusion of perceived obstacles releases unnecessary struggles, making it easier to let go of old stories, past programming, or belief systems that belong to others, that belong to the 85%. When you face your fears with a positive perception, it attracts your greater good, which is helping you create a new reality in this higher state of being. This card serves as a reminder that when you are in alignment with your infinite potential, it brings balance to the finite, however you say that word, thoughts that have pulled you out of neutrality with your source energy. Listen, I need to read the next one. As your soul expands and your perspective elevates, it creates an opportunity for you to discover more about yourself. And that's all we're doing by blaming others. We're just deflecting off of ourselves and our own reflection. Heal abandonment, time to forgive, 34. Remember at the beginning of this reading, we had that 34 card. So I need to read this. You have experienced abandonment in multiple lifetimes. Wounded stories are subconsciously causing you intense soul pain that makes you easily triggered when you experience rejection or unrequited love. This card implies that you need to heal traumatic experiences and the influence of unhealthy relationships. You have been abandoning your own needs, which is not the same as not loving yourself. You will move beyond the fear of abandonment when you realize that you caused yourself this pain because you're separated from yourself. It's time to forgive yourself for not standing up, showing up, or speaking up for your need to be heard, loved, and respected by others. You were taught to experience love. You were taught that to experience love, you must earn the love you seek. This produces the need for approval and creates feelings of rejection and feeling left out or left behind, causing you to justify your actions. Letting go of your old identity is painful because you experience the death of your former self and patterns. Yet it is necessary for you to create space for your new identity. So, I'm going to leave it here, my friends, but I know for some of you that was hard to listen to. If you made it all the way through, you are amazing. And I am sending you, as always, lots of love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.